Hi, I'm Darren Tyson, and this is Jason Husson. We're with a company called Architect Sports and Physical Therapy. Today we want to talk a little bit about stretching for speed, and flexibility for speed. There's a lot of different ways that people talk about how to be faster and things like that, but we want to talk about doing something 10 minutes a day that's going to make you faster as an athlete.
Three things, guys. We're going to go over flexibility for your hip flexor, flexibility for your hamstrings, and some balance strengthening exercise for your hips.
All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about is flexibility. Now everybody, your coaches always stress flexibility at the end of the practice, but many kids don't understand why we do flexibility. So the first thing we're going to look at is flexibility in the hamstring. And why do we talk about flexibility in terms of speed? All right, stride length is one key component of speed. So therefore, we look at flexibility and increasing your stride length. So over a distance, say 40 yards, and you should be 18 to 19 strides or steps in 40 yards, then that should be able to make you faster if we can increase your stride length, because you should be able to get there quicker. So the first thing I'm going to have Jason do is do a simple standing hamstring flexibility stretch that he should do. So first he's going to put one foot up onto the bench. You can do this on the bench at a ball game, chair at the house, couch if your parents don't mind. It doesn't really matter. So what he's doing is he's standing up, focusing on standing nice and tall, all right, toes straight up in the air, all right, heel on the object that you're going to be on. Things that we're looking for here is this leg stays straight, and he should feel a little bit of a stretch in the back side of his hamstring. If he doesn't feel anything, or if you don't feel anything when you first do this, then what we want you to do is we're going to lean forward at the hips, not just up in the upper body, keeping a flat back. So he's going to lean forward for me a little bit, and he's going to feel a little bit more of a stretch here, all right? Some people may have more or less flexibility. Jason doesn't have as much flexibility in his hamstrings, all right? So you can do this both legs. We should hold this around 60 seconds, all right? Every stretch should be around 60 seconds. You should feel a little bit of a stretch, but if you stretch too hard, the muscle doesn't relax. And the object of stretching is to gain more range of motion. So therefore, we have to stretch. We feel a little bit. By the end of 60 seconds, our muscles should relax. All right, so we've got a hamstring stretch. The next one that we're going to do is a simple hip flexor stretch. So what we're going to have Jason do is he's going to kneel down on one knee. He's going to walk that front leg forward so that the toe is outside of the knee. All right. He's going to stand nice and tall. The back foot is going to be pressed into the ground. He's going to push into the ground, and he's going to squeeze his butt cheek of the leg that's down. All right. So what that causes to do is he has a little bit of a pelvic tilt then, and it'll stretch through your hip flexor region, which is in the front side of your body. All right. So he's stretching this area again, holding for 60 seconds. All right. Not too much. Not too little. You should feel something by the end of 60 seconds that you relax. All right, so that's about flexibility. So there's two stretches that you can do. We've got a minute on the hamstring each leg and a minute on the hip flexor each leg, so that's a total of 4 minutes so far that you should be doing each day. All right, I'm going to let Jason discuss a little bit more about strength.
All right, guys, with all this newfound range of motion, you're going to need more strength in this new range. So we're going to talk about two exercises. First one you're going to do with a partner. Darren and I will show you. We're going to do a lunge. I'm going to be the prop holding his foot. So he'll get onto his front foot, give me his back one. I'll come back a little bit, but don't pull your partner down. Now, hands out in front if you need them, more across your chest. You're going to bend your front knee. Don't let your knee go over your toe, lunge down, and then back up. And we'll do about 15 reps. We're just going to about 4 or 5 here today. And he may be feeling a little bit of a stretch here in this back leg, and that's all right. That's not going to hurt there. Next thing we're going to do, Darren's going to show you guys how to do something called a single leg balance reach. He's going to get onto one foot. Now, what he's going to work on here is bouncing on the one foot he's standing on. And from here, he's going to reach with the same hand where his knee is up. And if you can get down to the ground a touch and come back up, that's ideal. And then back up. If you can't get down to the ground, don't worry about it. You can just reach out as far as you can and then back up. We're going to do 15 reps each leg here as well. If you lose your balance, not a big deal. All you got to do is get back on your one foot, go through it again till you get 15 clean reps. And those are two great ways to strengthen yourself in the newfound range of motion that we just finished working on.
All right, so in conclusion, we've talked about basically 4 exercises or 4 things that you can do. We've got the hamstring stretches, we've got our hip flexor stretches, we've got a good hip exercise in terms of that single leg balance reach that I just did, and then a good exercise with the lunge. All All right, so there's 4 things that we should be doing. Each of those 15 reps should last no more than a total of 10 minutes. All right, so that's 10 minutes out of your day. You could be watching ESPN, you could be watching whatever you wanted to do. At 10 minutes, make you faster, get you better as an athlete.
Guys, the key to all this stuff is, are you doing what all you can do to get better in your sport every single day? This takes 10 minutes, 3 to 4 exercises, stretches, and strengthening to get yourself faster and better in your sport.